Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts for another scenario by one of you guys. This one's called The Unfinished Samurai, developed by Tsuru. The Washington Naval Treaty has been rejected by naval powers around the world as humanity's newly found talent for aviation has quickly hit its ceiling. Therefore, the Imperial Japanese Navy has gone forward with its 8-8 fleet plan, which consists of 8 battleships and 8 battlecruisers. The Amagi class, which was historically never completed, was in fact built, along with 14 of its Japanese contemporaries. Fast forward 15 years, it is 1937, and Japan has invaded Southeast Asia with their massive success in China backing their war effort. The French fleet, stationed in the coast of Vietnam, mainly consists of upgraded World War I era ships, but they have the superiority in numbers. You, on the other hand, have the edge in technology. You will assist your army counterpart in the capitulation of Southeast Asia by sinking the remaining French fleet in the region. You will build 2 Amagi-class battlecruisers with a speed of at least 34 knots and 10 16-inch guns in 5 dual turrets. The ships must also have at least 6 or more torpedoes. The maximum tonnage is 40,000 tons, however you can change this part if it's too easy or too hard. Now I think that 40,000 ton limit could be a problem. I will also have 2 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, and 7 destroyers. My tech level is 1935. The French, the numerical superior numbers, have 5 battleships, 3 heavies, 4 lights, and 9 destroyers. My win condition is to sink all of the enemy ships, while keeping alive at least 3 of your 2... What? 3 of your 2 Amagi classes. So I guess I need to keep 150% of my fleet alive, and 2 battleships, along with 2 heavy cruisers. Alright, that last bit. Sink all of the enemy ships while keeping alive at least 3 of your 2 Amagi classes. I'd say 1 of my 2 Amagi classes, not 3. 3 out of 2 ships is a bit hard to do. Right, so I'm designing a battlecruiser, and I am probably going to be pissing off quite a lot of people because I will not be building a historical build, because I think it might be pushing it. I don't think I can make it work in this particular game, but let's... This is a really big ship. I want to get a modern battlecruiser for a displacement of 40,000 tons. Required speed was at least 34 knots. Alright, let's set it to 35 then. Stick range to medium. Bulkheads to mini. Gear turbines 2 to make sure I can get up to that. Forced boilers. An auxiliary petrol engine and an advanced propeller shaft 2. Upgrade the armor. Now about barbettes. With the introduction of the flash fires, I'm getting a bit more careful about my barbettes. Ammo detonation is always a risk, but flash fires are just, well, very, very lethal, shall we say. Okay. Let's put that on electrical and semi-auto gun reloads. Radar, Gen 1, rangefinder 5. They have the numerical advantage. They might be older ships, but that doesn't mean they're no threat. Alright, let's see if I can stick 5 gun turrets on this ship. Because that is what's going to be required. It's not going to be easy, I think. This is going to take up way too much room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially. And they were dual barrel 16-inch guns. I can't stick it over there. Can I get a tall... Is that big enough? Tall superimposed barbette? That is not big enough. That means we're going to go with a huge superimposed. And that doesn't fit. The standard superimposed is just not big enough. You're not supposed to put ships or put guns this big on a battlecruiser. At least not according to this game. Does it want to fit here? It does. It looks a little unusual, but it does fit. So I could get away with putting one 16-inch on there, but that's about the end of it. That's going to be tricky. Did the Amagi even have 16-inch guns? Alright, I quickly checked, and yes, she does have 16-inch guns. I'm going to have to use a different design, I think. Otherwise, it simply won't fit. A modernized Dreadnought's too heavy. Dreadnought 3? I know the Amagi is not officially a Dreadnought, but I think this is the only ship that I can, or the only hull that I can make it work with. If I really want to fit all of those towers on there, or all of those turrets. This already makes it a bit easier to stick in another turret. Centerline 16-inch. Nope, too big. Alright, let's work in reverse then. Yeah, you simply cannot put a 16-inch gun there. It's too big. Because I would have one here and one here. I'm at 40,000 ton displacement. I need a pretty small-ish main tower. But then on the stern, I really can't fit it. I would have to fit this turret here. And then a secondary tower, small one, over there, which doesn't fit. I need to force the game to upscale the ship there. I might be able to use the limitation of 41,000 knots, but not actually get to 40,000 knots. Tons. 40,000 knots, yeah, right. Another superimpose. Oh no. It doesn't want to fit. And these things are mushed together now. In a way that I think I cannot untangle. What if I go back to the battlecruiser and upscale that one a bit? Well, maybe more than a bit. Could I now fit these superimposed barbettes here? That's... yeah, I could. But once again, I'm running into trouble. Because I cannot put that second... or, hold on. Yeah, I can. Don't ask me how that's going to turn, though. It seems to be solidly stuck in behind that front turret. Okay, so then I would go with a secondary tower that takes up as little space as possible. And then a huge nope. Too big. Can't fit. What if I go for 15-inch guns? Is that going to help me? Oh, that's a side mount. I need to get a main line. Could I fit these on, let's say, here and there? And then move the tower back. And then here. Maybe I can also do that with 16-inch. Just about. I don't quite know where I'm gonna... oh yeah, I can leave my funnels here. That should fix that. Ship's probably gonna run out of weight though. 33,000 tons. I still have yet to add quite a bunch of materials. 4 weight offset, 53%. Christ. How the hell am I gonna compensate for that? I've never had it this bad. 60% for weight offset. 68. My god. These things are just way too heavy. Yeah, it doesn't help if you also throw in a superimposed barbette with 500 tons of weight. If I move this turret back... that's not going to help at all. 53.9. $53.8. Still don't see this working out. But I'm willing to explore. No, not shaft 3. 47.6. That's still exceptionally heavy. The other modern tower is significantly lighter. By 1,300 tons. You wouldn't say so if you look at it, though. Could I put this turret over here and put the funnel in between? No. 43.1. How the hell did they balance these ships out? 45.2. I can put torpedo tubes on the stern, because it's supposed to have 6 or more torpedoes. So, judging by that indication, I'd say 3 per side. That's still 45%. If I up that in caliber, we're going to go down by a whole 0.2%. This ship is going to be grossly unstable. And if I slide down the displacement, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. I'm not sure how much of a stable weapons platform I can have if the ship is going up and down with a 46% forward offset. What can I reasonably gather about that? There was a stat here somewhere. Stability. The higher the stability. Yeah. Not really though, are we? I'm always looking through these things and sometimes I'm able to find it, sometimes I'm not. I just don't pay enough attention to it. Flooding chance, fire chance. This is all the building stuff. I'm gonna get spotted pretty far away. Here, longitudinal weight offset. Minus 14% base accuracy. Accuracy penalty from sea waves. Accuracy bonus from cruising speeds reduced. Accuracy penalty for maneuvering is worse. More flooding chance. More water spread speed chance. Far less acceleration. Far less turning rate. And far less rudder shift. The only thing that helps me is that I decelerate faster. And that speed at maximum turning rate is reduced. So I don't lose as much speed if I'm going through a turn at full speed. I think that's still fairly optimistic. That I would be able to go through a speed, or a turn at maximum speed. I don't see that going down very well. Now this ship is also supposed to have secondaries. And I'm still, well under my limit. It's supposed to have 16 single 5.5 inch guns. 16 single, so I need 8 turrets. If I scale that down to 5 inch, that might fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're not done. 7, 8. Alright. That seems like a pretty hefty armament. 6 single 4.7 inch anti-air guns and 8 24 inch, excuse me, 24 inch torpedo tubes. I don't have the tech for that. I am willing to try this ship and put it into battle. I have no idea how well she's going to do. We'll just have to find out. If I add more to the belt extended, the weight offset gets... Whoa, 25 inches? That ramped up a hell of a lot faster than I'd expected. Give me a bit more deck armor. How heavily armored were these ships? Okay, I might have overdone it slightly. Because if I'm looking here, it says that the ship has 9.8 inches of belt armor. And 95 millimeters, so 3.7 inches of deck armor. Maybe I can just try and compensate by using more of the armor on the extended deck. Conning tower, 14.2. 14.2. Torpedo bulkheads, I don't really care about. And the turrets, I don't know. But I suppose it's going to be pretty heavily armored. Let's say 15 inch. This actually compensates a fair amount for my weight offset. 10 inch on the secondaries and a bunch on the turret top. Why the hell is this ship so light? It's like this weight displacement is almost not moving. That's weird. How heavily could I armor this ship if I wanted to? 30 inches of armor? What the hell? That added what? 3,000 tons? Go back to 9.8. Wow. Okay. That's interesting, to say the least. Right, enough building. Time to get to the fighting. Let's see if this Amagi thing is willing to fight. And before you guys go off in the comment section, yes, I know the ship is not historical. It's a game. It's not a simulator, as some people seem to think it is. It doesn't pretend to be a simulator. It's a game. And you simply will not be able to get as close or as far away from designs as you want to. Alright, what do I have? I got the Choyo and the Akitsu. 15-inch triple barrel, 12 guns total. She has few bulkheads, thank you AI. She is slightly heavier than my battlecruisers and she has 32 knots of speed. Maximum armor of 12.3 on the belt and 16.8 on the turrets. Heavy cruisers. 9-inch, 12 barrels. Well, not a bunch of 5-inch. 1 5-inch, 3 inchers, and a healthy amount of torpedo tubes. And then we got the destroyers. Please tell me these are all the same. They are. And it's 5-inch guns on the... Oh, your torpedo deck seems to be awash. On the Arashi, and she has 19-inch torpedo tubes for a range of 14.6. Okay. Now, the French fleet is significantly larger. I'm not sure if I even covered this yet, but the French have 5 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 4 light cruisers, and 9 destroyers. This is one of the French battleships, and it's currently heading away. They're all moving away. How close are they to my battleships? 14.8. Okay. Right, what's the plan going to be here? We're going to turn right on the battleships. We're going to have the destroyers break formation and turn around. We have the other 2 DDs over here. You guys are going to go there. You're going to try and do a torpedo run. But only when I tell you to. We got the heavy cruisers. These guys are screening for the battleships, but I'm worried that they're going to take the brunt of the fire and will not survive. This is their destroyer, by the way. This almost looks like one huge torpedo tube, but I guess it's 2 separates. 5-inch guns and all the funnels they could fit. And then my battle cruisers are the farthest away. I'm going to try and turn hard to port and intercept along with those 2, no, with the 5 destroyers there. Destroyer group. Smoke it up. You guys are in torpedo range, but not by a whole lot, and the ships are heading away. So let's just make sure that I don't get my ass handed to me here by sending out a bunch of torpedoes and then finding that I miss everything. You already got hit? You got hit once by a fire or you got hit once, you blocked the damage, but you took a fire. The Akitsu. Oh shit, that destroyer's having a really tough time. very bad place. I think that's the firepower from the heavy cruisers that's doing him in. Why is he not smoking up? That's an unusual course of action. The light cruisers are smoking up, but the destroyers are not. Okay. Mine are. But the way that they're moving about in their formations is curious, shall we say. Now I'm going to play this battle from a bit farther away than I normally do. Reason being, there are a lot of ships on their end, and there are quite a few ships on my end. And I need to make sure that I can see most of them to see what's going on. These ships can do 42 knots. That's excellent. That means they can catch these warships, these battleships, before they leave. Range 10-6. That means that they are in range for you. And if you don't torp... Oh, that's a light cruiser that's coming in. These are the ones that need to hit. Slow down a bit. I need to hit that one with the torpedoes. You're not a battleship. You're potentially a heavy cruiser. Just one that has a serious amount of firepower. Let's torpedo that guy. Because everything that doesn't hit him, or her, can still hit ships behind it. Chokai and Hyai, supposedly the Amagi builds, are still pushing up. Damage sustained 3.7. Damage inflicted 4,606. What do you mean skewed numbers? Looks like this destroyer again is not smoking up. What are they doing? Or not doing, rather. Okay, torpedoes away from the first two destroyers. Oh shit, your smoke screen just ran out. You got a couple of very annoyed heavy cruisers coming at you. Ooh. Who were you again? And where were you again? What happened? Oh. Holy shit, you got hit for 23,000 damage? Okay. Yeah, that'll do you in if you're in a destroyer. See, even the tag's over there. The tag hasn't even caught up with this ship yet. Oh my god, they got murdered. The heavies are not really operating safely. They're trying to screen for the battleships, and they are doing that, in fact. But in a way that they're actually sacrificing themselves. Amagi has just sent out her torpedoes. Hibiki has sent out torpedoes. And Kisaragi has sent out torpedoes as well. Let's get the destroyers to disengage. Because they have enough fish in the sea. And that means that they have enough to worry about for the moment. So the DDs can just disengage. And make sure that they survive for another torpedo attack. Battlecruisers. You're trying to hit a destroyer. That is a big waste of your time. Try to hit the heavy cruisers. Identification's almost complete. 98%, 99. Colbert, 12,000 tons. Heavy cruiser. 7-inch guns, just a load of them. And she does have a few torpedo tubes. What's that? 2 port, 2 starboard? Yeah, 1 bow, 1 stern. Okay. So at least she won't be popping a load of torpedoes. The Mogador there, the Panthère. Heavy cruiser coming along. Identification on the battleships yet? No. Battleships, target battleships. 84, 67, 79. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Speaking of getting somewhere, my torpedoes are about to arrive. And they're about to turn the whole French formation into soup. Because these guys are going to start scattering. And then they have corrected their course. And then the second and the third wave hits. And there's even torpedoes in the water from what I think are the heavy cruisers. Yeah, somewhat. Unfortunately, the Tatashino and the Atago are going down. Presumably very, very soon. What a mess. Aggressive torpedo launch. Just launch against that battleship, because it's definitely going to hit something that happens to be in the way. Tatashina is definitely going down. Battleships. Still powering through. Let's go to full speed, get a bit more accuracy. And these are still powering through on the other side. Can we finish off this light cruiser? The Dushaila. Also 7-inch guns. Fortunately not terribly accurate. And they're getting worked over by the heavy cruisers. Finish off those lights to make sure that my ships have a better chance at surviving. And you guys are pretty fast, but you also got French battleships coming your way. Be careful. Damage inflicted. You're now going to see some skewed numbers here. Damage inflicted, 5,400 damage. Damage taken, 27,000. But that was 23,000 from one destroyer kill. So sure, the French did more damage. But I think their ships are in way worse condition than mine are. And it's about to get even worse for them. As the Kabyl and quite a few other destroyers here and light cruisers are still trying to turn away from all of these torpedoes. And I'm doubting whether the Kabyl is able to do it. Or even interested in doing it. It does have sonar, but it's turning into the torpedo instead of out of. For reasons unbeknownst. That's one. Oh, narrowly avoided, but not that one. That's two. Okay, so that's one early torpedo success. Looks like the Panthère might get hit. There goes the Kabyl. I've effectively cut their fleet in half, with half of the destroyers over here, some scattered over there, and the rest are all here. Now, the destroyers are reloading. Almost there. Save. Start putting yourself into a position from where you can engage the Savoy. Smokescreen is ready in 8 seconds, although I think that might be 8 seconds too late for the Hibiki. There goes the Panthère. Smoke! Okay, good. There goes the Dushaila. Due to heavy flooding, so I think she ate a torpedo. No, she ate a couple of shells from my battlecruisers. What's my chance to pen on this battleship? 56%. I'll go with that. Few bulkheads, 40,900 tons. On the Savoy, 15-inch guns and 8-inch secondaries, 6-inch casemates, 4-inch casemates, 4-inch secondaries, 3-inch casemates, and 2-inch secondaries. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll be enough damage. On paper, the French have now inflicted 30,000 damage versus my 9,000, but I have sunk more ships. By some miracle, the Tatashina and the Atago are still here. I don't really know how they've been able to, well, contain the damage, contain the flooding, but it seems to be operational. It's just not going anywhere because it's trying to fall in behind the Atago. And the Atago is not doing very well for speed. So the Tatashina is just patiently taking a beating and waiting for her position to get available. Here's the Aigle. Yeah, I'm guessing my heavy cruisers are going to have to deal with these destroyers before they torpedo my ass. 6.8 kilometer range, that's a saving grace. Means that they are somewhat in range. Yeah, I need those destroyers dead. Fast, preferably. Damage on their battleships. The Duquesne has taken serious damage. Courbet has taken some damage. Gascon is healthy. Then they got 3 heavy cruisers. That's a destroyed 15-inch gun. Let me guess. Yeah, that was one of my 15-inch shells. Turning away on the Chokai a bit, because she's taken a bit more damage than I was hoping. The destroyers are almost ready. I could torpedo this ship, but my torpedoes run about to here, to the Gascon. So I need to get closer. The Hibiki can disengage. I don't need you in my destroyer group anymore. Alright, so far, not too bad. I haven't lost any ships as far as I know. No, actually I've lost one. One destroyer got sunk. And the Tatashina is just a disaster waiting to happen. Speaking of, torpedoes out. Potentially versus the Aigle, which I don't think are going to hit. Because the Aigle might in fact sink before those things actually get close. The range on the Tatashina's torpedoes is 14.6. Which means that these destroyers, and potentially the battleships, are at risk. Now I need to start intercepting the rest of the fleet. Because they're heading away. Put my secondaries on the Le Mars. They still haven't torpedoed. That's good. Means that I don't have to worry about that. You're free to engage with your torpedoes if you think you can get a shot off. Or a launch, rather. Range? Not great. 7.6. That means you are in range. There goes the Aigle. That was the lead destroyer. Come on, Hibiki. I know you're in a pretty shitty condition. But she did do it. Her torpedoes are away. Alright, well done. Now you really want to disengage. Our torpedoes are going to meet the Savoy. So are my destroyers, which are currently doing 6.2 kilometer range to the Savoy. And there's another battleship coming in, the Gascon. Come starboard and start launching torpedoes. They might hit the Savoy. If not, then they could hit as deep as the Duquesne, depending on which way she's going. No, she's going away. Okay, torpedoes away from the Arashi. I have to be turning out as well with these ships, because my smoke screen's done in, well, now, actually. That's the battlecruiser group. Pretty good. Maintain intercept. Tatashina is still there? With 9 inches of armor, how are you surviving this? She's taken 3,754 damage. 1,200 shots have been fired at her, but only 37% has hit. Or sorry, 37 of them have hit for 3.1%. The Duquesne is still taking loads of damage from my battleships. Unfortunately, the Choyo has also been hit slightly, but nothing really too serious. And her secondaries are trying to work away versus the destroyers. Looks like the Tar 2 just took a hit. Yeah, from a heavy cruiser. And she should be flooding. Vauquelin might get in the way of the torpedoes. No, she's fine. We got the Foudroyant, who's turning back to port. But the Gauloise... Are you heading into my torpedoes by any chance? That'd be very, very considerate of you. Uh-oh. Arashi's taking damage. Torpedoes away versus Gascon. Savoy is turning back. How many bulkheads do you have? Few. Turn to port, turn to port, turn to port, turn to port, continue your turn. She has no idea. She has no idea what's coming for her. Oh, dude. Seconds from disaster. Everything was well aboard the battleship Gascon. She was fighting for her life. She was engaged in fleet action versus the Japanese, but she did not see the impending death. Like that. That's 6 torpedo hits. Massive flooding erupted on the Gascon. Battle control parties were sent to, damage control parties were sent to the lower bulkheads of the ship. But the damage was done and the ship started to flood quickly. The ship quickly started developing a list to starboard, all the while still being under fire from the rest of the Japanese fleet. The captain ordered to turn to port to try and evade further action and further damage, trying to fall in front of the already damaged Savoy and avoiding a few more torpedoes. The damage control parties, however, could not get the damage inflicted by the Japanese torpedoes under control. The ship continued to develop a list to starboard. Buoyancy was now down to critical levels. The ship was listing to starboard at an angle of 30 degrees. Even with emergency bulkheads being closed, watertight doors locked in place, the Gascon just couldn't survive. She tried. She really tried. That's another Japanese ship, or a Japanese victory against the French. That leaves them on 4 battleships. The Duquesne, the Courbet, the Savoy, and the Gauloise. Gauloise is also flooding. Oh, the Choyo's taking some more damage. We got rid of those destroyers up close. The Foudroyant. Still got the Mogador over there, but that's the extent of their destroyer group. Gauloise is taking serious fire. And the damage from the flooding is adding up. Again, another French battleship has taken flooding from bow to stern. And if she's exactly the same build as her predecessor, then she will go down to the like the Gascon, potentially as fast as well. The Japanese destroyers are not done yet. We're gonna have to use those guys again. Don't launch torpedoes unless otherwise directed. There goes the Gauloise. That was quick. Oh, and there's more on the way. Is that a present for my heavy cruisers by any chance? Well, it must have been, because my battleships aren't packing torpedo tubes. I wonder, however, if the Duquesne is just fast enough to avoid those torpedoes. I think she will be. She's going to fit. She's turning to starboard to avoid the other torpedo. I think she'll get away with it. But by doing so, she's making herself an easier target. Now, the supposed Amagi builds have been doing quite well. Their damage output, however, has not been that good. Survivability, at least, is good. Hiei has done 262 damage, taken 7 hits for 6.2 damage. So she's fine. Now, the destroyers. I need you guys to come back and make a torpedo attack against the Savoy. On my order. And meanwhile, the heavy cruisers. How the hell is the Tatashina still here? How? Just... What did you do? She seems to be turning into a submarine. How much anti-flooding do you have? Anti-flooding 2, reinforced bulkheads 2, anti-torpedo 4. What hit you? Yeah, it was battleships. 863, 791, 589, 1355 from another 15-inch shell. She's still here? Retreat. If you can take that much damage and survive, you deserve to be retreated. Because then you can start training other people in the miracles of damage control. I don't know how they did it, but I want my other sailors to be able to do that too. That is impressive. Why are these guys getting told to fall back? Oh, I told the wrong group to retreat. Mogami, starboard turn. Choyo, port turn. And ships they got left. Duquesne, Courbet. The Prima Auguet is turning away. No, she's coming back. Savoy still pretty healthy. I'm trying to get rid of this light cruiser here. That helps. The Hirondelle. Although the French don't pronounce the H, right? So it's more like the Hirondelle. When I was visiting France with my family in the summer holidays, I always thought, okay, if you have the H in your alphabet, then you might as well use it. If you have the H in a word, like hotel, then why don't you pronounce it? But no, no, no. The French went, non, non, c'est un hôtel, not a hotel. Right, okay. Then stop putting words in, or letters in your words if you're not intending on using them. Right, how aggressive do I want to play it with my battlecruisers? I always enjoy a good brawl, and I have torpedo tubes. 23 inch. We've seen how well the French handle being flooded, or rather, how poorly they handle it. Let's see if I can do the same thing against the Savoy. Destroyers. Maintain course. Still no torpedoes. None of these guys are actually packing torpedo tubes, which makes my life pretty easy. Hold on. This thing was healthy a moment ago. And now it is not so healthy. Yeah, that happens when you get hit by a torpedo from a heavy cruiser. Oops. Minimum bulkheads. I know minimum bulkheads allow your ship to be lighter and potentially faster and more maneuverable, but you're also going to be faster to reach the bottom of the ocean. So, yeah, whichever way you turn it, you're going to be faster. Faster to sink. Okay, time for the Choyo to push in. And want my heavy cruisers. Oh, could you guys not break up the formation of the BBs? Keep going. So far, so good. Savoy's out at 6 clicks. I sort of want to try and sandwich her between the destroyers and the battlecruisers. So if I can launch with the Chokai while she's turning this way, and then with the destroyers while they're turning that way, I'll be able to sandwich this ship and potentially the Talisman as well between the two torpedo attacks. The problem is that the Chokai has her torpedoes all the way in the stern, so she might not be able to target. And my torpedoes run at 36 or 37.5. These at 48 knots. Okay, torpedo away. Ooh. Arashi just took a really big hit. What happened to you? 144, 140, 180, 151. Detonation on the Kazugumo. Range is now getting really quite dangerous. Come on. The Arashi's already dead. Torpedoes away from the Kazugumo. Amagiri. Come on. I'm trusting that my other ships can handle these as they're pushing in. Good hit on the Hirondelle. Sorry, the Hirondelle. We've been over that. Really? There she goes. Mogador could be a problem. She has sent out torpedoes, and here they are. Secondaries on the Mogador. Hiai, I need you to detach for a second and just avoid as much as you can. Come on. I know you're doing very, well, decently high speeds. Okay, that's better. Back to the battlecruiser group. Oh, dearie. There goes the Savoy. She got hit by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 torpedoes. Now let's see all those secondaries work away. All those 5 inches against the DD. They reload in a mere 9.6 seconds. Shit, Shikai has taken flooding. Mogador doesn't have any torpedoes left. Time for the Hyai to finish the job. Range 1.8 kilometers out. Oh snap. Mogador's demise has been confirmed. I took a bit of a beating doing that though. Not so much on the Hyai, but on the Chokai. Savoy... Has Savoy fought the flooding successfully? I wouldn't put it past her. Damage to the main gun and fire. She has a destroyed stern turret, doesn't she? Yep. She's trying to get her other guns to turn back. Hyai has launched her own torpedoes. 23 inches of death is coming on the Savoy. I think her aim was a bit bad though. Aim of the Hyai. The DDs have suffered another casualty and are about to suffer the one of the Kazugumo. Come on. Let's check in with the battleships. Working around the Duquesne and the Courbet. Finish the Duquesne first if you can. We still have a lot of heavy cruisers to clean up. There we go. Well done. Now I can use these to start taking down the Colbert and the Talisman. Secondaries, Talisman, primaries, Colbert. Chokai has controlled the damage. She's fighting away with her secondaries. And similar with the 16-inch versus the Colbert. Oh, right. Holy shit. I completely forgot about the Hanazuki. Jesus, she went far off the reservation. How far is she away? 31 clicks from the Mogami. Oh man, that was a big mistake. Amusing one, at least. Chokai still has a damaged engine. Hyai is now taking fire from all sources. Light cruisers, heavy cruisers, battleships. Unfortunately, I think she already used her port torpedo tubes against the Savoy. Try to sink the Marseillaise with your torpedoes. Uh-oh. These are mission critical ships. These battleships. But they're also the most healthy ones. Well, were. And they're my best shot at dealing with the heavy cruisers. If they hit. The Duquesne is being chased down by the battleships and the heavy cruisers. But she's not giving in. Despite having lost 2 of her turrets. She only has 1 operational turret on the stern and 1 on the bow. It looks like her secondaries have also seen better days. To make matters worse, her conning tower has been damaged. And she's on fire in several sectors. Again, few bulkheads. They just kill ships. They are so incredibly dangerous. And I still don't know why the AI persists on using them. Oh well. Chokai and Hiai have taken both some damage now. Colbert is perfectly unharmed. Let's get these guys to disengage. Destroyers? Whatever's left of them anyway. Oh shit. Oh, you're out of torpedoes. Amagi, disengage from this fight. Because I definitely do not need a destroyer that doesn't have any torpedoes left. And you're also pretty weak. I want you to disengage as well. Oh, those they can, finally. Leaving me with one. The Kisaragi. She has few torpedoes left. Maybe just enough. My battleships are just plowing through everything. Alright, what are we dealing with here? The Talisman. Torpedo in the water. Who did that? Heavy cruiser. How dare you? How dare you? Torpedoing is my thing, not yours. Kisaragi has enough torpedo armament to make one more attack, I think. So I better make this one count. Torpedo against the Tonon. Get ready. Go aggressive. There goes Talisman. Now is a good time. Thank you. Torpedoes away. Oh, she took a big hit. Flooding. Heavy cruiser Marseillaise is taking severe damage. Recently due to a battlecruiser torpedo hitting her. That was not meant for her, but I don't mind. Courbet is trying to run away like a proper battleship does. And yes, you can make all the nationality jokes that you want. I mean, we are fighting the French after all. The Tonon and the Colbert are running. What's the speed on the Colbert? 20 knots. There goes the Marseillaise. Alright, time to take down the Tonon. These heavy cruisers are actually very effective. I haven't quite given them enough credit yet. Their design with the torpedo tubes amidships strikes me more as German almost. But it's 9-inch guns, 30,000 ton displacement, standard bulkheads, and 19-inch torpedoes. It's not even very big, it's just a lot of them. With, what is that? 10 tubes per side on these groups, and another 3 per side there. So she has a torpedo broadside of 13 tubes. That is something you can work with. Now, I know my destroyer has torpedoed one of these guys, but at this point, I'm also pushing him with my own heavy cruisers. Last thing I want is a blue on blue. I don't want to be sinking my own my own cruisers here. Looks like the Courbet is not going anywhere anymore. Engine damaged, ships on fire, flooding. Or flooded, rather, not active. How much of these guys... Oh, torpedo. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I can't avoid that. How much of these guys tanked? They've been shot at 1,600 times. And they've only taken 966 damage, although that is about to change. One hit, one avoided. The Akitsu has barely been shot at. She's been shot at only 130,000 times. And 11 of those hit, and they were all blocked. As opposed to the Courbet, who's been shot at nearly 3,000 times, hit 480 times for 2,479 damage total. Chokai, 2,700 shots at her, 2,900 versus the Hiei. Oh no, I'm gonna lose the Choyo. I don't think she's fighting the flooding very well. Nope, few bulkheads. It's not the French who are doing this, it's also the Japanese. I'm still seeing some torpedoes in the water. Probably the courtesy of the Mogami here. There goes Choyo. Fortunately, I needed to keep alive 3 of my 2 Amagi classes. I don't know what exactly those are supposed to be. I mean, those are the battlecruisers and I've kept both alive. So I'm thinking I fulfilled that promise. And I've already sunk 4 of the 5 French battleships. So I can afford to lose 1 of my own battleships. There's a good torpedo hit. That's what I wanted to see. I'm not even sure if the torpedo blister is going to hold that. Stern belt extended. Yeah. See if we can get the port side torpedoes away. This time against the Colbert. And I'm just waiting for the Courbet to go under. Yep, torpedoes away. Ish. Yeah, here they go. Incoming torpedoes. These I can easily avoid. Yeah, this one too. It was launched quite a time ago, I think. Has she spotted the torpedoes yet? No, she hasn't. I can use that. She still has 83 torpedoes left? Wow. Hold on. How many torpedoes hit has the Kako scored? None. Otago? Or, hold on, where was it? Yeah, here. She has scored 5 out of 10 hits with her torpedo tubes. That's impressive. For 1,876 damage. And with this one, she also scored a hit for 131. The Otago, 2 out of 10. None out of 10. I think the Kisaragi did a good number. Well, she torpedoed everything. I think she also lost a couple of torpedoes in the process. Because she got hit. But overall, no hits. Not a single one. Doesn't mean they didn't help though. Because she could have still pushed other ships into other torpedoes by virtue of her own torpedo screen. Yeah, this will kill the Colbert. She's gonna eat 1, 2, I think. 1, 2. Bulkheads, maximum. Okay, at least we have 1 heavily protected French warship. That's a nice change of pace. Courbet refuses to sink. Unlike the Colbert, which is struggling and failing at containing the damage. 12%. We're now fighting knife fights at 1.3 kilometer range. Colbert is flooding some more. There goes the Courbet. Not to be confused with the Colbert. That's a jet flying over my house. For some reason. Must be the Japanese strike fighters who are waiting to just take down the Tonon while the anti-air from the Colbert and the Courbet have been taken down. Oh! Mogami readies her starboard torpedo sight and is waiting to finish off the Tonon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. That was painful, but the French also did it in return and torpedoed the Mogami. This is going to go very close. I hope that the Mogami is able to save herself. Anti-torpedo system. Anti-flood 2. Versus the French. Hello. Anti-flood 1. There goes Tonon. I was actually thinking the Colbert would go first, but sure. No, the Mogami! Survive, Mogami. Please. You have fought a very good fight. You have dealt 7,200 damage. Which, with this ship alone, that's 7,200. Really? 7,200 out of 39,000 damage came from the Mogami. We definitely got our money's worth out of the Mogami. Impressive ship. That's a fifth of the damage, near enough. Came from one cruiser. Okay. Is that courtesy of your main guns? 3,100 damage. No, it's torpedoes. 8 out of 30 torpedo hits for 3,100 damage. Alright, Colbert, you can still surrender. If you want to do so now so that the Mogami can still survive. The Mogami is still not done, because she once again shot right into the side of the Colbert for 200 damage. Come on. No, there goes the Mogami. So close. Colbert is a burning husk of a ship at this point. Oh shit, the I almost lost the Akitsu. She's been torpedoed, but I don't know by what. And I can't tell anymore because we won the scenario. Damn, this turned into a long video. Hour long. Hope you enjoyed that. And again, I'm sorry it was not the actual Amagi class battlecruiser, but it's just really hard to build those. Well, you saw me struggle with the designer. I couldn't do it, but maybe you can, and let me know in the comment section how. As for the new scenarios, be sure to post those down below in the comment section, and there is a chance that they will get picked up. The most upvotes wins for the next video, unless I happen to pick one of those from the Naval Center, from the Naval College. Anyway, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys soon for the next Ultimate Admiral.